Russell, I have no idea what's going to transpire tonight.
This is the nature of time.
I have to say, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. You may not recall this. You once described yourself to me in an interview as a licorice, scarecrow, Willy Wonka sex man. And I'm proud to say you've lived up to the billing.
Thank you very much. Although the licorice is a constant battle.
You know, you seem like the kind of guy who enjoys a spot of mischief, and yet I just watched you as you walked into a restaurant about 10 minutes ago. You charmed a bar patron you'd never met before, charmed the hostess, charmed the manager. How do you do it? Which is you? Which side of that equation is you? The mischief maker or the charming gentleman?
Well, David, I think that all of us are multifaceted individuals with numerous traits, often conflicting. Someone told me that enlightenment is contingent on being able to simultaneously hold two conflicting ideas. I've been thinking about it a lot, and not thinking about it a lot.
Could you dumb it down just a shade for some of us?
I don't think I know how to.
Oh, okay. Are you the kind of person who goes looking for trouble? Does it just naturally seek you out?
I have this proclivity to conflict, and I get into trouble inadvertently. I've never deliberately got into trouble. I've always been just simply trying to find answers or make people laugh. And often as a consequence of those actions, there is trouble.
So it's trouble's fault. Trouble is it's
I
not
think
your
that
fault.
trouble is the problem here. I'm basically a nice guy. Some people say that you cross the line, but I don't think that there is a line. I think people draw the line in just after you have traversed it.
I understand.
We didn't have a chance. No. Let's get rid of this line if it's causing so many problems. People are always crossing it. Get rid of it. People obviously don't like it. Perhaps the line's the problem.
Now, in your first memoir, My Bookie Wook, you wrote about overcoming addictions to heroin, crack, and sex.
Yes, oh yes.
So, what do you do for an encore? How do you then write a second memoir? What's left?
Loads of things, because I carried on living. That's the thing, you see. What happened, I still had some life left at the end of my memoir. That's all right, wasn't it? Yeah. Sometimes you say something and think, ooh, that looked good, written down later by me. Yeah, I think, you know, because like that book ended, and then there was some more life. I lived that. I'm paraphrasing the previously succinct line now. So, like, you know, but when I ended that last book, I hadn't, you know, lots of things hadn't happened yet. Right. So they had to be chronicled. I mean, even I allow things to ferment a little bit. This book, and like, you have to give it into the publishers. You know what I mean? And they go, oh, another thing happened. They'll say, eventually, they'll say, Russell, you must find a suitable climax. We can't forever extend the pages. There can't be an endless analogue. We can't have a Kerouacian scroll attached to your book and you type your way along. It would be silly, they said, in this hypothetical situation that I'm currently conjuring up for you now, during these words. What do you suppose that's for?
Oh,
I've been thinking about it the whole time I've been here.
One of them is a detonator, so take your pick.
Just press them both.
Yeah.
Like in The Matrix, red pill, blue pill. Have all the pills. Don't do nothing to that, does it? No. Obviously, they went, why is it here? This is a device worthy of Beckett. They've left this thing on the stage. We don't know its function. Stanislavski would say, if there is a device on the central table, by the end of the second act, someone must have pressed it. Now, I've been a bit previous, admittedly, because it's not a rifle on a wall, as it would be in Stanislavski's example. But it says Q on here, and I've queued, and all for naught.
No. It's keyed to my fingerprints alone. So,
ooh,
yeah, that's how high-tech we are here at the Times.
It's very high-tech for a dying medium.
I should point out that he was asking earlier for a job at this news organization.
Yes, I'd like one. I apologise for my previous remark. I like to write between 800 and 809 words per week on a topic of my choosing. You will publish it and I'll keep the money.
We'll get right on that as long
If
as
you don't mind.
Yeah, as long as our medium is alive, I'll see what we can do.
Do the admin, if you don't mind. I've got a lot on. You could put it on the internet if you choose. Because this is on the internet now.
I think so, or
Hello,
eventually.
internet. Hello. This is being streamed live on the internet. I wonder, so there'll be someone now currently interrupting their cycle of masturbation to watch mine.
You know, the kinds of people that you pattern yourself after when you were growing up and you were first sort of figuring out who your heroes were, did they tend more to be rock musicians? Were they comedians? A little bit of both?
They were mostly comedians, English comedians. My reference points were quite parochial as a child. I got them off of the telly. And it's not a very adventurous medium a lot of the time, is it? Like, they don't go, it's 8 o'clock, here's Jean-Luc Godard. They go, this is something that reflects pretty much what you're experiencing now in a dry fashion. Here are some people coming late, tentatively measuring their steps as if that will somehow help. But all you've done is fueled our observations of you. That's right. One of the seats has been rigged.
That's what this device is really for.
Yes.
Anytime you want to set it off.
We can detonate the chair.
That's right. They've already bought their ticket, right? What do we need them for?
We've already got the revenue, David.
Right.
Now we can explode them without care. Someone is ovulating near here.
You can just sense that. You have that, that's your...
We all can, but I know how to do it still. I can remember it.
Who in particular were the comedians that you were watching?
Peter Cook is an English comedian I very much admired. Dudley Moore. But actually, when you're a kid, it's not so much that. Like, these are the references that you retrospectively apply to make yourself more grandiose. Actually, when I was a kid, it would have been like Fawlty Towers, Blackadder, Fools and Horses, like English sitcoms off the telly. But like things like Blackadder, it was like sort of a sitcom, period sitcom. So there was some of it was like set in like Regency Britain, some at the time of the First World War, some Jacobean Britain. And like, it was properly funny and amazing language. It was written by Ben Elton and Richard Curtis. That had a powerful impact on me when I was little. And then, like, when you get older, you become a little more erudite and indeed esoteric about the kind of comedy that you consume. And that's when I started to like sort of think, become utterly enchanted by like Peter Cook and Dudley Moore, and Alan Bennett and that. And like, also around that time, sort of became aware of Lenny Bruce and Bill Hicks and Richard Pryor, and like, you know, sort of a stand-up comedy American art form, isn't it? So still the greatest exponents are Americans, I suppose. The best British stand-up comedians and the ones I admire most are Billy Connolly and Eddie Izzard, but I think like the best American ones is them ones, I said.
I apologize to whoever has to transcribe this. I truly apologize.
No one has to. It's their choice. Part of your constitution.
Right.
The right to bear arms, the right to transcribe. That drink I don't normally have. I'm trying it out. And it's all right. It's a bit medicinal. That's I'm also reviewing drinks while this happens as a sideline. In case the interview don't go well, I'll think, well, I've always got my drink review. This stuff's good as gold, though. This ain't going nowhere.
It's pretty plentiful on this planet, I find.
Is it, though, mate? Or is there a great, big, massive thing happening now on the planet where there isn't enough water and it's a great, big, bloody problem? And you work for the New York Times, and it's a commodity, apparently, like, it's a bigger problem than air running out, and you'd think with all these glaciers melting, you'd get a bloody glass of water out of it, but apparently no. And what do you do? And I can't even bother to turn the tap off while I clean my teeth. What are we going to do? What are we going to do about the planet? What are our priorities, David?